Energize. Energize. All systems operating. All systems operating. So. All systems operating. So. All systems operating. So.
Savage life forms never follow even their own rules. Savage life forms.
All systems operating. All systems operating.
It registers as solid, Captain. It registers as solid.
Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Next Generation recap and rewatch podcast every week. Every fucking week. Myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my co-host...
Hey everyone, it's Al Hirt. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt and I, we get together virtually nowadays to discuss an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. We shoot the shit a little bit, we run you through an episode, and then, hey, we'll leave you with a little recommendation for some kind of non-Trek thing to experience.
Yep.
Oh, that's the rundown. Al, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well.
Is it hot?
It's hot as fuck.
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to just talk about the weather, but we live in a place where the weather is like a legit thing to talk about because it fucking sucks and is very hot right now.
No, actually, I wanted to bring this up too. Recently, PlayStation said that they're not going to be doing discs anymore.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So I was like, shit. So at my job and stuff, we work with like little Raspberry Pis and shit.
Yeah.
And I was looking into them and I decided to get one. And I got a Raspberry Pi 4.
Yeah.
And I programmed like a bunch of an operating system called Batocera.
Yeah.
Which is Linux, and it's like all these emulations and stuff. And you just add your ROMs, and then it like automatically adds them in this like big library for you.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. I'll have to show it to you later.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. Big community and all that too.
So you do, and it's like ROMs of new games?
Oh, no, not new ones. It's like all the old ones. And it depends on like what kind of like Raspberry Pi you get or like mini computer. Because at this point I'm looking into like a mini PC. Yeah. I'm just putting everything on there.
Well, yeah.
But
I use...
Right now I can play up to Dreamcast, PlayStation 1. I mean like maybe some GameCube, but GameCube's like reaching, you know?
What's that Raspberry Pi cost?
It was like... Well, I got it on discount somewhere because I got it like refurbished, but it was $85.
Wow.
Because then the new Raspberry Pi 5s are like $100 and something, and then you can run Nintendo GameCube games on there. You could play like Double Dash, which was a big request from the emulating people. And then recently, I think it was maybe a year ago, they just started supporting PlayStation 4.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, that's going to be wild.
Yeah, you need like a gaming PC almost, like a 5-year-old gaming PC. I actually briefly got into emulation stuff, and I still have it. I just haven't had time to play really. But I use the what's it called? OpenEmu.
Oh,
is the
yeah,
emulator that I use, and that shit is slick as hell. Like, you just go to like the Internet Archive where they have like all of the emulators archived, and you download the file format and you just drag it into a window in OpenEmu, and then it just puts the box art and everything up, and it's fucking plays really slick. And I use I have a because I was playing Super Nintendo games primarily, and I have a Super Nintendo wireless Switch controller that pairs to my Mac. So I was playing nice. I played through all of Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, the first Lufia game, and then I'm like halfway through Chrono Trigger.
I'll have to ask you for some recs because I'm downloading some stuff right now. I set it up to where I can connect to it through the internet and then just like drag files onto a folder too. Like before, there's this thing called RetroPie, which also had a big community and stuff, but I was trying to update it, and I guess they had stopped creating new versions as of like November 2025. So then that's how I moved on to this new Linux operating system, since you could download and upload any operating system to, a flash SD card, and you just put it on your Pi or whatever.
Does your Raspberry Pi, do you have a monitor that it connects to?
Yeah, I mean, I usually use the TV, or there's like a little display
You
screen
use
that
the
you
TV,
can get,
of course.
and you just use a ribbon, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen the compact like $80 portable emulators that look like a big that look like a fat like super souped up Game Boy?
Yeah,
They're like, and they run on like a Raspberry Pi or whatever most of the time, I think. But
I got one of those too.
Oh yeah,
they're cool. I mean, it's like, we'll see what comes next, because the one that I got from my friend, he had given me one with like a 128 gigabyte card. So I was like, ooh, maybe I'll swap that. But we'll see how that works out. It's just cool now because it's all very streamlined, and like, yeah, you need to know some file system and formatting and stuff, but that's really it.
And there's like huge like Reddit forums and shit that tell you how to do everything.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure, and like all the
YouTube and all
YouTube
that.
videos and all that stuff. Yeah, well, cool. So what are you playing? Are you playing anything now?
Oh, honestly, I've just been uploading games on there, and it's crazy too because PlayStation games are coming up to a gig. I got like Castlevania. I've been looking into a lot of
Castlevania's really
Dreamcast
good.
too.
For Dreamcast, you should get, of course, MVC2.
Yeah, I did that.
But Power Stone and Power Stone 2, those
Okay.
are really
Power Stone.
fucking good.
Yeah, it's just I remember being a little kid being like, oh, I've always wanted a Dreamcast, and I never got one, and now it's like, okay, now I have everything, you know?
Yeah, my buddy
brother. Oh, go ahead.
My buddy Peter had a Dreamcast, and he had like a spindle of CDRs where he had like every Dreamcast game ripped and burned,
nice.
Because they were really easy to break like that and rip games.
Yeah, the big thing is I was really surprised I got PlayStation 3, because I guess even the developers were complaining about how hard it is to code on like that OS, I guess. And that's why they weren't able to do backwards compatibility with like the newer models and stuff, and it was like such a clusterfuck. So yeah, I'm glad people figured that out finally too. And there's Switch games too.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, and I think mine would play Wii games. I think mine would play up to Wii games pretty, but I don't know. So yeah, well, good.
Oh yeah, anywho.
Yeah, so you also told me that you saw the Odyssey. I don't want to like get into it. Because I haven't seen it, but that's pretty good. You enjoyed it?
Oh, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, the time flew by.
Yeah.
I maybe looked at my watch like twice.
Yeah.
Granted, it was a sold out showing, and we were in the very, very back corner. At least we weren't in the very, very front.
Sure.
But it was like a stacked cast. You know, it felt like one of those.
It's pretty crazy.
It was really silly. I heard this really silly criticism of like, oh, there's all these people there. It felt like an SNL sketch, or like there's too many famous people. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they're all fantastic actors and actresses. Like,
did they say that
you're
about
gonna get the big dogs? Like,
did they say that
what
about?
Are you talking about?
Did they say that about Knives Out? Or
Yeah,
did they
right?
say that about
or like
fucking
Avengers, or like
the
any big movie?
the Avengerers? Yeah, did they say that about the Avengerers? You know, motherfuckers.
I guess like the one thing I had criticized about it was it felt a little bit like there was too many yes men on set. There was some Zack Schneider moments of like edgelordiness.
Well,
And it was like, oh, I bet he thought this was really cool, and
Probably
nobody
in
wanted to be like,
the Odyssey.
I mean,
is
it's
kind
all
of,
right.
The Odyssey is kind of edgelordy story, dude. Like it was probably
for
in
sure.
the book.
But
the book was probably like, mad at women or something.
the OG.
Yeah, I went and saw Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, how was that?
So I don't know about these Marvel movies anymore. Like
Dude.
I just don't know if I'm ever gonna say one was like good again. You know,
After Endgame.
Well, I mean, just even like it's like it kind of just feels like it's all done. Because when I was watching this new Spider-Man, like it is good. Like it's the most comic book like Spider-Man of all the Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Yeah, people
It's
said
good.
it crushed.
It's good, but it's like it feels like 4 episodes of a TV show. Like even the way that they have it break and how they reveal things, it's like, oh, you find out that this character is whoever. Like at the end of. Like in a Netflix series, at the end of episode 5, it turns and then it starts that. But it's like looks really fucking good, and everybody's good in it, and it's fun and cool. And
I'm
it
holding
like
my breath.
Yeah, like I think you'll enjoy it. It's probably I mean, I can't say that it's better than No Way Home because No Way Home had Toby, you know, like
there's no way you're topping that's hard.
That fucking man, when
the
Tobey
three
Maguire
Spider-Men interacting and all that.
When Tobey
that's
Maguire came out of that fucking Doctor Strange portal, like that was like that was like the most fun I've had at the movies in a long time. But yeah, so that's fun catching up with about movies and emulating technology because we need to preserve these things. We need to keep this stuff because they're gonna throw it all in the dump.
They're gonna take it all away.
They're gonna throw it in the dump just like they did the ET cartridges. Do you know that? Do you know that story? Have you heard that story? They made an ET.
They were switching systems and like nobody wanted to buy the game anyways.
No, it's because it sucked.
Sell it.
It's because it
really sucked that bad.
ET is the worst game, one of the worst games ever programmed. You couldn't do like the first jump. Like it's
Jeez.
like it was really really fucking bad. And there was
some hard ass way to get the Easter egg too. You had to like go back and forth from a certain place and like unlock some stupid thing.
Yeah, I probably learned about that in motherfucking Ready Player One. Because they talk about it in that, but yeah, there's like a dump somewhere in like New Jersey or some shit that's got fucking 10,000 copies of the Atari 2600 ET cartridges in it because they threw it away.
They brought like tractors and shit, and they like had to excavate a whole grave for it, and then they took a dump truck and like just dumped a bunch of copies in this hole. Yeah. There's a lot of people there. It's a funny video on YouTube. You should look it up.
Probably Chris Christie's probably there if it's in New Jersey, you know, even though it was like 25, even though it was like 50 years ago. All right, that brings us to the first official segment of the week.
Oh, yes.
What does Al remember?
Al, what do you remember about Star Trek The Next Generation? Season 1, Episode 3, Code of Honor.
Episode 3, Code of Honor. Shit.
Of Honor. This is the first, I think this is the first real, no, because Naked Now is before this, but but this is the second real adventure after the two-parter.
Of course. Escape from Farpoint, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, Crisis at Farpoint Parts 1 and 2. So, what do you think happens in Code of Honor?
It's about some honor or morality issue.
You know, yes. I'll give you a couple of clues. It's a Yar-heavy episode, R.I.P., Tasha Yar. And it starts with the Enterprise needs a vaccine for the Enterprise needs a vaccine for some disease that a planet has, but the only planet that has the vaccine is a very proud and not problematically African at all looking race of aliens called the Ligonians, and they are impressed by a particular member of the crew. Al, do you remember this now? Does this jog your memory?
Because I got it actually kind of mixed up with the other episode about the one alien race that's like screwing over the other alien race by making them addicted to a certain vaccine. Or
they got them all hooked on the shit.
Besides the point, no, they have this race of aliens, I guess, as a guest star or a guest on their ship, and then the king or whoever is impressed by Yar and wants to marry her. And then there's some like inner family drama that ends up happening on the planet that the Enterprise crew witness because I guess his wife had a lover, the king's wife had a lover that were both ending up taking over the king's spot so that she can rule and do some other shit.
Yeah.
And the Enterprise just shrugged and was like, okay, bye, you know, but I guess Yar was there kind of as a distraction from the entire situation.
Well, what was going on was he was trying to keep Yar and not give, he was going to be like, we're not going to give you the vaccine. Yeah. We're not going to give you the vaccine. And then the king just ends up being the number 2. He ends up being like the second husband.
Right,
he swaps
exactly.
with the second husband who is actually in love with her.
They do like this whole Lion King, you know, multi-wife stuff, and it's like I guess her having more spouses kind of trumps him.
Yeah,
having two wives.
Exactly.
Which
She
is so
has
funny.
She has the power, as they say in the somewhat mid Masters of the Universe film that you can watch now on Amazon Prime or steal for Friesel. So you're missing something. This episode. No, you nailed it. Like you're only missing one thing that I think would stand out about this episode.
Like there's a B plot though, right?
Not the B plot, but there might be. Do you remember how Yar and the wife from the Ligonian King? Do you remember how they try to resolve this issue?
No, not at first.
It's a pit fight where there's like a jungle gym that they fight on.
Oh, that's right.
And each of them have like
around.
each of them have like a poison gauntlet or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, they flip around and fight and stuff, and it's a real cat fight situation. But ultimately, the dumb king gets they flip it on him like Benicio del Toro in The Usual Suspects when Benicio says they flip you.
No, but that scene in particular too, I remember like commenting specifically to you. I'm like, okay, this definitely still feels a little like the original series.
Oh,
still.
dude, yeah.
They're like, what is it? Not training steps, but
when they're fighting,
it
like
just feels like something Kirk would do.
Yeah,
Or maybe Scotty.
Well, so Al, that was pretty good, and
What does Al remember?
Which brings us to the meat of the show, and this week we are discussing the season 3, episode 6 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Booby Trap. It was written by Ron Roman and Michael Wagner with assists from the producers and showrunners. It was directed by Gabriel Beaumont, who's actually super interesting.
We've heard that before, right?
I don't know that this. I think this might. I don't know if this is her first Star Trek or not. But Gabriel Beaumont is a trailblazing lady director.
Okay, word.
Buckinghamshire-born Gabriel Amanda Beaumont, first woman to make a groundbreaking impact in Hollywood as a prolific director of episodic primetime television. She worked on things like MASH and Dynasty and Cagney and Lacey and Hill Street Blues and Miami Vice and LA Law and Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was a very prolific TV director. I was just reading that from IMDb there. And this episode aired, funny enough, on October 31st, 1989. This is a Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Would you have guessed that? It seems like it'd be more like a Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, seriously. There's honestly one part that's really Halloween-esque and a little mysterious, but that's pretty much it.
Geordi wants to fuck a computer.
Yeah, that's a little creepy too.
And don't
I think it's
they
just
all?
the message they look at too with the captain.
If you touch the engine, you're touching me. Whenever you touch the engine, you're touching me,
yeah.
Geordi. Whenever you get up in the engine's guts, Geordi, it's me. But yeah, so
those Jeffrey tubes.
The Jeffrey, they're the fallopian tubes. The Enterprise, the Paramount Plus synopsis from old Billy Shakespeare at the non-AI synopses factory, as far as I can tell. The Enterprise is caught in a booby trap that captures the ship and converts its energy into lethal levels of radiation.
Okay, that's like 3/4 of it.
That's a good. It doesn't say anything about Geordi and Dr. Leah Brahms and all that, but it is. It is a decent synopsis, and really, you're not spoiling much when the episode is called Booby Trap. As the synopsis writer, you're not really giving anything away if you mention that it involves, I don't know, some sort of booby trap.
A trap, yeah.
A trap of some sort of booby. Now, this episode opens with Geordi on a very awkward beach date on the holodeck. And Al, do you recognize this actress that Geordi is on a date with?
I do recognize her. She just has one of those faces. I don't know the name though. She's a prolific 90s actress though.
Yes, she is the love interest of Chris Farley's character in Tommy Boy. She's
that's
she's
right.
like the shipping person, the person who works in
she's
shipping.
the accountant and stuff.
Yes,
Logistics or whatever.
Julie Warner is her name.
She just got that girl next door look down pat,
dude, and
that everybody likes.
Underutilized in this episode. Like, I think it would have been funny if they had her play Leah Brahms as well. And it was just, and he's like, "Whoa, what? Why did it do that?" But yeah, she was in all that shit that I already said. She was also in episodes of Dextorb. She was in an episode of Dexter. I wanted to get back to the 90s stuff because, Tommy Boy, she was in The Puppet Masters about aliens that attach to the back of your brainstem and make you do things. And she was
cool.
She was she was in The Flatliners. She was in, there's one other one I thought. Nope. Okay, but so good job. Good job, Julie Warner, and good job, the casting folks at Star Trek for figuring shit out. Now, this awkward date is awkward because Geordi is just pretty awkward with ladies, I think, in general. But
he's got no game.
She's definitely not into it, but he does kind of do the thing where once
he pushes it.
Once she starts, he's got like a holodeck program where there's like a pirate that plays the violin and shit, and it's all obviously too much, and she's not into it. And she says she doesn't like him like that, and Geordi kind of does the thing where he's like, "Yeah, I get it," and it's like, dude, don't do that incel shit. Like, just chill. Just be like, "Yeah, that's fine, man. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, and it's really funny too because he like asked the computer to generate a violinist behind them, and the violinist is playing music.
A violinist that's dressed like a pirate.
Stop. Yeah. He's just like, can you please stop?
You put too much effort into it, Geordi. Just take her to 10 forward, get a drink,
right?
Have Guinan gas you up in front of her a little bit, like have Guinan like tell a story about how you saved the Enterprise one time when you did some engineering, and you can fucking finger it out, buddy. You can finger it out.
I guess maybe at some point she had considered it, enough to the point where they're sitting on a beach in the holodeck.
Well,
right?
yeah, so I guess.
It's like he's got some game.
I do like
how... They had to get there somehow, Adam.
I do like how she says, she says, I think I've got to get back. Like she's on break from work. She's like on, I got to get back. I've got something in the replicator that's
Instead of I can't wait to see you again. She hits him with I'm pretty tired. I'm going to go to bed,
Yeah.
I'm going to bounce.
And Data and Will Wheaton, that pile of shit, Wesley Crusher, they're playing the stacked chess. And they're in an asteroid field that's made up of the remnants of a planet that was destroyed 1,000 years ago. And what happens? What happens, Al?
Well, they're just kind of spending time together, flying the wall shit. Where Wesley's like, "Dang, I can't believe there's all these shreds of a planet." And Data's like, "Yeah, it was pretty. What is it called?" They're pretty old school.
Yeah, even with weapons.
For being so primary or
primitive weapons.
Yeah, they even though they were so primitive, they kind of destroyed each other.
They were really able to blow the fuck up out of the planet.
Yeah. So then they both see Geordi walk in though. Yeah,
Geordi and Wesley's like his date was supposed to go longer.
But they both did. Oh, they didn't split up right in 10 forward. She literally just went back to her. Yeah,
she just
right?
left. Yeah, we didn't see that. We just saw Geordi show up in 10 forward, all rejected and shit.
Right.
And
so then Wesley goes, "Uh-oh," and Data's like, "What do you mean, uh-oh?" And Wesley's like, "Geordi had that big date with Christy tonight. He was all nervous about it and
women in the future still named Christy. No offense to any listeners named Christy, but I think that's a wild name for a future lady to have. But so Geordi, we don't get anything more there. We just go right to
the Data says uh-oh too.
Oh, that's right.
Because it's like he's trying to agree with him, and it's like he's doing more human things. Yep. At this point, he's already human. So.
And Wesley notices. Wesley's like, "Hey,
Wesley's like,
good job, buddy." Now,
then it gets to the bridge.
Now, what happens on? Well, I'll tell you what happens on the bridge.
Yeah.
They find a distress call as usual, and it's in this asteroid belt where the war where there's a planet that exploded, right? And they're gonna
practically like an asteroid belt.
Yep, and they get in there and they see that it's a Promelian battle cruiser, which is like 1,000-year-old fucking ship.
Yeah, and he's so fascinated by it because Picard loves history and all that too.
If there's one, it's like you think that. So Picard is a horse girl, number one.
Yeah.
But then we also find out that he's a ship in a bottle boy. And he used to make ships in a bottle as a kid. And he's like, I bet I even had a Promelian battle cruiser. And and Picard wants to go over there and check stuff out. And Riker's like, it's too dangerous. And Picard's like, Captain's prerogative. I fucking do what I want. This is my shit, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, this is why I hired you, though, number one. You're supposed to watch the Enterprise while I go do fun shit.
There's a great moment when Worf, Data, and Picard are getting ready to transport away, and Picard is like, didn't any of you dumb motherfuckers play with ships in bottles? And Worf goes, I did not play with toys. And Data's like, I was never a boy. Because Picard says, didn't you play with ships in a bottle when you were a boy? And Worf says, I didn't play with toys. And Data says, I was never a boy. And then Colm Meaney fucking O'Brien is like, I did. It was fucking great. And Picard is like, of course you did. And what do they find when they beam over to the battle cruiser?
They find that it's empty, right, and just completely, like, kind of abandoned.
Well, there's some
mummies. They find this
creepy-ass
video.
There's some mummies.
And then the mummies, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that shit's freaky.
Yeah, so Picard is fascinated. Oh, they had such primitive technology, but it's not primitive. It's all functional. And oh man, look at the steering wheel on this shit. Oh, they don't make a steer. He's like Jay Leno. He's basically Jay Leno talking about classic cars. But instead he's Captain Picard on the bridge of a Promelian battle cruiser. And he's like, they built this ship for generations and it worked. And so he's nutting around on the bridge of this Promelian battle cruiser with
there's a lot of little funny bits. Oh, right. I mean, I forgot that you mentioned this, but before they beam over, Picard's like, oh, it's like playing with the ship in a bottle, and everybody kind of just shrugs, and he's like, Worf. I mean, come on, you play with ship a bottle.
Yeah, I covered that. Worf says I didn't play with toys.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Worf says I didn't play with toys. Data says I was never a boy, and then Colm Meaney is like, I did.
It feels kind of awkward too.
It's funny. Riker gives Colm Meaney shit about it after they beam up, and he's like, "What? I did. It's fun. You should fucking try it." So Picard is all fascinated with that, and then we get a scene with Geordi and Guinan. And it's like, I thought Troy was the counselor on the I thought Deanna Troi was the counselor, the Beta Z on the Starship Enterprise, but it seems like Guinan does her fair share of counseling there in 10 Forward as the bartender.
It's a Guinan episode too. I feel she always gotta flex her acting prowess.
Yeah, so she basically tells Geordi, you're a fucking try-hard. The reason you can't get laid is because you're just flop sweat. You're trying too hard. You got to talk to a lady just like you talk to me, like there's no stakes.
Right, and we get this awkward reveal that she's like, I really like men's head. And Geordi's like, so you mean their mind? And she's like, no, literally their head. She likes
bald guys. And Geordi is kind of a little too disgusted.
Okay.
Like I right. as a recently bald guy, it's kind of just like, hey dude, go fuck yourself, band eye. Hey, what's up, Visor?
Seriously?
Oh, really?
Trying to give a shout out to those group of people.
Go fuck yourself, engineer-y. And so then we get back where Wesley's on the bridge like, oh, there's some kind of power thing happening. Like there's some kind of less power or something happening. And Riker's like, keep an eye on it. And then this is probably my favorite shot of this whole episode. On the bridge of the Promelian battle cruiser, they turn the power on, and like the lights gradually come up, and it shows this design and whatnot of the Promelian battlecruiser bridge. Very cool.
Okay.
And then they find what might be like a little memory chip that'll have a video on it, and these become important later. It turns out it's like the captain's log, and he's saying, "Hey, it's my fault. Everybody's dead. My crew did a good job." He
yeah,
looks.
it's kind of like a last log kind of thing. A Death Note.
I like, but not like the Death Note.
Right.
And
but
so,
it feels akin to finding, old star logs in like Dead Space or finding old audio recordings, like BioShock or something,
Absolutely. And that's such a great sci-fi motif of finding the records of the fucking last person to get killed by something. So back on the bridge, Picard comes in off the turbo lift and he just says, "Thrilling." Like, that's such a great line delivery. And so basically he says, not only were there ghosts on that ship, but one of them actually spoke to us. And
Picard's like, this was awesome.
And Picard's very happy, and Deanna Troy's got a big smile on her face, and she's like, I love it when you feel like this. It makes everybody else feel good. And then they try and just turn around and take off, and what happens?
Their energy starts to get sapped from the ship.
Huh? What? But they need that energy to zoom around out there. They can't zip around out there without energy from the dilithium crystals.
And as they're trying to pull away, the energy sap gets worse and worse,
Yeah, and there's also lethal doses of radiation coming from unknown sources at the ship, right? So it's twofold. They can't get away. The more they try to get away, the harder they're held in place. And I feel like something similar has happened like this before, where they're held in place, and because Geordi's got the engines just fucking cranked, and they're not moving. And he says, "Commander, we should be going like a bat out of hell," but they're stuck in place, and the radiation levels keep going up. And then Picard says, "Is it possible that we're caught in a 1,000-year-old booby trap?"
Yeah, it's kind of just like this quicksand-esque kind of trap.
And then there's an advertisement for Tide or Glad garbage bags. Now,
and then immediately we cut to the prompt of the senior staff meeting.
Yeah, senior staff meeting. The radiation
it's
field.
A big issue going on right now.
The radiation field is so strong it interferes with their sensors. They can't fucking figure out where it's coming from. Data can't fucking think of any good records that relate to actually what's going on. All of his knowledge is useless. It's pretty funny. It's like, hey, you know everything, but you also don't know fucking shit.
Yeah, they're just trying to research more to go on the ship to see what could have happened.
They're gonna bring down the shields briefly because that other ship presumably dealt with this booby trap, and they're gonna see what they found out, if anything.
Yeah.
And so this is where A and B plots kind of split. Geordi now has to go and find out how to increase their power levels so that this drain doesn't fucking totally drain them. And then,
but also to keep them alive too.
Yes, absolutely. And then some other folks are going to go over to the Promelian battlecruiser. Now, this is where Geordi's in engineering, and he's talking to the computer, and he's trying to figure out something about the engine, and he has this genius idea of pulling up the records of the scientists who worked on the engine. And one of them is this Dr. Leah Brahms, who is a junior member at the Daystrom Institute. And Geordi's like, wait a sec, junior member? It looks like she basically invented this fucking warp travel, this engine. And so then he's got basically all the knowledge of this scientist as a computer voice talking to him, so that he can ask questions and run a simulation on the engine.
Correct. And then he ends up actually just thinking, well, hey, wait, if I'm already simulating this, why don't I just simulate the actual room, the engine room, into what's it called? The holodeck.
Yeah. He gets there. Before that, Before that, on the bridge, we got Crusher saying that without the shields, it will have lethal doses of radiation in 30 minutes. We got to set up radiation triage stations just in case.
Yeah, Picard calls the OA team back because he's just paranoid he's not going to be able to get them back.
Yep.
With the shields going up and down and shit.
Data and Riker find a bunch more of those data crystals that are probably more captain's logs. And so, and then Geordi's got his fucking brilliant idea to build the engine room, or to build the development center where they built the engine in the holodeck. And he's like, oh man, I got the biggest engineering boner for this room. This is where they created the Starship Enterprise, the ship that I live inside of its guts and fallopian tubes.
Yeah, it's pretty clever. It's like a chemist being like, hey, I want to actually be there when the scientists created that theorem or that theory. And just going directly to that spot in time.
And this set fucking rules, because my favorite part about this set is there's like a set piece that's like 3 pieces of glass that each have different levels of the engine's schematic on it, and you slide them out to see what's going on and then put them back so you see how it fits. And he goes, I want to find a way to supplement the energy supplies to the ship and the engines. I wish you should show me how to do it. And then whoops, the holodeck creates a Dr. Leah Brahms hologram, and she's a bit of a looker, like she's a future hottie. But that's the end of Act 2. We're still trapped by the Booby Trap.
But the Leah Brahms, hollow lady is still very stoic.
Yeah, she doesn't have a personality yet.
And outputting commands. Yeah, she doesn't have no personality. Just kind of, going through the motions here. And Geordi's just kind of weirded out, but going through it.
Yeah. And so she's basically helping him figure this shit out. He gets back to the bridge and says, we can now have enough power to keep the shields going because that's the priority, but I don't have enough power to get us out of here. Working on that next. Now, we get to Data. This sequence is great because it's Data, Riker, and Picard, okay? And they're looking at a little screen where Data's playing these memory chips from the other ship. And he's like, surely there must be something on here, but they're all damaged, right? So it looks like they have to manually go through and watch them all. So for the next couple of scenes, while Geordi's in the holodeck doing this shit with Dr. Leah Brahms, Picard, Riker, and Data are just staring at a screen. Seriously. You could have Data go through it quickly, right? Like you could speed it up and then find the spots that have shit, but very
have
funny.
Data summarize the footage.
Yep.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy because this feels definitely more Geordi oriented, especially because of the premise that they build at the beginning.
Great Geordi
of
episode.
him not being able to communicate with women and stuff.
Clearly a Geordi. And then he's got to communicate with a woman even though it's a robo lady. Now,
yeah, that's when it gets awkward.
Him and Leah Brahms have a breakthrough, but she doesn't seem too excited about it because she doesn't have a personality yet. And then this is fucking funny. Geordi says, did she ever, do you have any personality information? And they're like, her personal logs are foreboding.
Profile.
But they said that they've got her psychological profile. And then Geordi says, did she ever debate on the Thorlaxian 4 debate stage? And the computer's like, yeah, these years. And he's like, oh, forget those years. Put those 4 debate appearances and her personality file together and make a facsimile. And the computer says it will be within 10% responsiveness margin of error. So basically, based on those 4 data sets, the computer was able to create a personality that's 90% exact and would make the same.
We're talking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying that she's basically saying, if this hologram falls in love with you, Geordi, it's for real. Like that's what Leah Brahms would have fallen in love with you within 10%. Within 10% margin of error.
10% though. I don't know. It's given kind of like this weird
Did she ever debate at the Intergalactic Caucus on Chaya 7?
No, but it feels like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that he did create her basically. It's like it's weird when you fall in love with a hologram that you essentially create from data that you have to mine from somewhere, but it's happening nowadays. It's just like those AI boyfriends.
But I feel like it's not even accurate too sometimes because the data that they're mining is like the 4 TED Talks that they made when they had to be on their best behavior and be like really amicable and stuff. Not like when they wake up at like 6 a.m. for work and they're like pissed off or something. And then 10%, and Geordi's like, I could live with that.
So they get to work, and then on the bridge, Picard and their screen looking at hath paid off. The captain says we're stuck in place, and it's because of the aceton assimilators that are stuck and then the video dies. And basically Data explains aceton assimilators are these little fucking generators that can eat power and put out radiation. So perfect booby trap. And the crazy thing about this is Picard says, how many of these devices would it take to do this? And Data says hundreds of thousands hidden out in the fucking the debris field.
Jeez.
Like, that's just so interesting to think they must be tiny, right? And then
or within those little bricks or little asteroid rocks.
We cut right from that to first lovers quarrel. Geordi and Dr. Leah Brahms are fighting because she doesn't have the field knowledge. She doesn't know that if they do this thing, everything's going to explode, and he does.
What's really cool though about their acting chops here is that like you have to have a certain rhythm and pace to go back and forth and have chemistry in an argument. Really, even like there's a skill in that. So it's like they're each giving each other like a part to like rant at each other, and that it sounds like just a typical argument you'd hear between people two at work, even just for figuring out a problem.
Kind
of
dude.
Like mathematically, scientifically putting it down.
Yeah, dude. They're and then they cooler heads prevail. And he says, we'd never be certain that the circuit paths are sealed. And she's like, you're right. You're right.
His point being, too, he's like, you've designed this, and it's like a really beautiful, amazing thing that you've done, but you've been in a controlled lab environment.
Yeah.
Like, this is a battle-tested enterprise.
He says,
we've had a lot of light years on this bad boy.
He says, I wish that the chief engineer could be present when the ship is being built. Which is funny because it wouldn't have even like, been you, dog. It would have been that dumbass from the first season. And she's like, yeah, and we never get out and see stuff. And also, I'm fake. And
it's just, it was kind of weird.
So good stuff there. Back on the bridge, they're trying to, like, they find out that there's a 0.1% dip in the radiation in this one area. And Picard is like, we're going to blast that area with phasers and see if it lowers the radiation by destroying the accelerators. And Data's Data's like, well, it could also, we're shooting energy at these energy devouring things. It might like devour the energy. And sure enough, they shoot the fucking shit. The radiation starts going up. Picard looks like, oopsie. Picard has like a really good like, oopsie face before it cuts to commercial break, probably for Tyson chicken strips or toilet pinter. And now we've got Leah Brahms, full of personality and 90% accuracy on being a human. And then they're about to figure something out, and the computer's like, energy's all fucked up. Shield need energy. We got to shut down all non-essential bullshit. And she disappears.
Yeah, it's like battery saver mode. Like,
I love how he's
like all these sections.
He's like, override that shit. And the computer's like, you can't, dude. And he's like, computer.
You're not authorized.
Computer.
It's such a good line. And it's kind of like, when your shit shuts down and you didn't save or something, and you're like, come on, computer.
Oh, dude, I've literally said that at work when I like accidentally turn my monitor off. Computer. Now,
it's so weird. It's so silly, but
Act 4 starts with them in the dark in a staff meeting. We got Crusher saying, "Oh, the radiation's gone up, so now we can only survive 26 minutes when the shields go down." And Geordi's on the communicator, like on the Dyson pod in the center of the conference room, and he's like, "Well, look, we'll just have to. The dilithium crystals are cracking. We're gonna have to get some repairs at the next starbase." And Riker's like, "Oh, you're an optimist, Geordi. We're probably gonna fucking die out here, you dumbass. Help us."
Yeah, and Picard's like, "Geordi, have we, made every measurement to preserve energy?" And Geordi's like, yeah, in fact, honestly, you turned off a holodeck program that I need.
He's like, I actually need the energy. And it's so funny because he's like, why? Because it's a simulation of sorts. And he can't be like, I made a lady and I'm in love with her.
No, and Picard's like, all right, well, and he cuts the time by half because I guess
they have 2 hours of shields left.
Yeah, he asks Worf how much time we have left, and Worf's like 2 hours. And Picard goes, okay, Geordi, you have 1 hour. So activate holodeck.
So Geordi's got 1 hour with the holographic love of his life.
Yes, and it's kind of like I feel like, have you seen the movie Imitation Game?
No, I haven't.
Anytime somebody, it's beautiful, but it's like anytime somebody tries to use science to like figure out some shit, it's like a big situation, but they're both, in a science room, or it's a couple just trying to figure out, going back and forth about their theories.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's a very sci-fi.
That's got Doctor Strange in it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. It is.
It's him. He's the guy.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
The Cumberbatch. Now.
Yeah, it was about cracking the Nazi code in World War II.
Oh, yeah, I remember that's what it was about.
And like his machine is like the Alan Turing computers.
Oh, yeah, it's about Alan
how
Turing.
computers are made and all that.
The Turing test, to make sure that it's not going to kill you. Now, we've got our funny that segues right into Geordi's probably could pass the Turing test robot lady friend. Now, she's got an idea where they can go through the asteroid field, and the way that they would do it, they would need to make like thousands of micro adjustments per second. And Geordi's like, Data couldn't even do that. And she goes, I could. And he goes, no human could do that. And she goes, I'm not a human, dude. I'm your fucking computer. And he's like, oh, that's right.
I guess you're right.
He goes, you mean? And I like how she's like, so she's a holodeck program that's aware that she's a holodeck program.
Yeah, it's kind of turned into that whole meta thing with remember the holodeck program?
Yeah, Moriarty.
That was like a bar lady, and then the cop friend Moriarty, and he's like, "What happens after you close the program, man?
And
am I gonna dream?"
Yeah, so I have no fucking clue. So now, after yet another break, we come back, and I love the constant establishing shots of the Enterprise in the asteroid field with the Promelian battlecruiser just hanging out there. Now,
so
Geordi says we can't. Everything we've done, we can't adjust fast enough. She says I could. I guess I already covered this stuff.
Yeah, and Picard comes in,
and
Geordi kind of looks at him awkwardly.
Yeah,
and
Geordi's like,
so this is what you've been working on?
Yeah, like it's just like, oh, I see. So this holodeck program that's helping you happens to be a sexy lady, and I know that you've been having. We all know you've been having women problems. Now,
no, and he like stops.
What does Geordi recommend?
He goes. I found out that through various simulations, we can get out of this like asteroid field or this trap by moving slowly and making thousands of adjustments per second with the computer. And Picard's like, wait, so we're just going to like let the computer fly? And Geordi's like, yes, essentially in a sense.
And Geordi's going to run some simulations. And while he's running some simulations... While he's running,
okay.
Picard's like, okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to go sit in the dark in my office and look out into the endless void of space.
Yeah, this is freaky, It's like him having a meta moment with Riker, too, because he's like, we used to draw charts and like build designs and schematics for ships to guide us, and now the ships themselves are guiding us rather than us guiding the ship.
And they're not even. He's not even talking
I don't know
about.
If I can trust computers, man.
Well, yeah, like so to put a little finer point on it, that is a good description of what Picard's going through. But it isn't really that the ships are flying them; it's about computers specifically. They say, the computer, and and Riker's like, I've always been impressed by. Riker says, I've always been impressed by a computer's ability to take orders, but I don't know if one can creatively give orders. And it's just like, oh, really, Riker? You've often ruminated on you're like, I'm so impressed by how computers can take orders. Like, come on, dude.
Dude, he's always at the holodeck too.
He is, yeah. He
That's
loves
what I'm
that
saying.
shit.
Is that not a computer? The replicator
it is indeed.
too. That's
now,
like an amazing tech.
Yeah, the replicator is the world's greatest computer. Now, they are having their little moment deciding, are they going to let a computer decide their fate, right? And and Picard once again talks about how I really wish that you would have played with ships and bottles. And if I was Riker, I'd be like, motherfucker, I didn't play with ships and bottles. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not going to have a new personal history just because you want to be able to fucking relate to me about something, dog. Break it down for me.
And it's like a lot of like history core and stuff. And we're talking like straight hobbies that can completely vary from person to person,
dude.
And it's like, hey man, there's probably thousands of things to do, granted, because you're in the freaking future.
I want to talk about the ship in the bottle of
if
it.
the holodeck exists, I don't think I'm going to be playing with a ship in a bottle.
I'll go be inside a ship in a giant
what
bottle.
Are you saying? Yeah, that's the crazy, bro.
I do like the fact that it's starships in bottles. Like we think of ships in bottles like schooner ships and stuff, but he was like using the strings and stuff to put little. Have you ever seen a ship in the bottle being assembled? How they do it?
Yeah,
It's like
I was
these
about to
hooks
say,
and
it's a pretty
strings
intimate
and
thing.
like it's like
a lot of coordination, and you're just tugging in and out of the bottle, just trying to get these things. It's like, I don't know, like Lego / origami on steroids.
And they set it all up so that you pull like 10 strings at once, and like everything kind of lifts up and pulls together. Pretty cool. Now,
so that way it
they've got lethal
compartmentalizes into the
radiation
bottle.
levels. They've got lethal radiation levels. They got 26 minutes before everybody dies. Leah and Geordi, how are their simulations going, Al?
They're going bad.
Oh shit!
so
What? They have one successful one, but that's it.
Yeah, that's true. But Geordi actually suddenly gets a eureka moment.
He
of
does.
Like, why don't we just do the opposite? And it kind of, no one says it, but it kind of relates to like a Chinese finger trap of like the less energy that you put into the trap, the more its grip will loosen.
Yes.
So it's like the inverse of like pushing against the tide. You're going with the tide, and by doing that, you're kind of gonna get out of its snare.
Well,
So
so
Geordi's like, let's just kill the engines and like go the other way barely or something.
No,
like
what he
that
says
with
is
one
we're gonna blast 1 microsecond of thruster, and then we're only gonna have the left and the right thrusters on the ship running, and we're gonna turn off everything else except life support, so there's nothing to feed the radiation. And then we're just going to coast. And then he says, but there's no way that a computer, we have to use our best technology, our computer, the best computer we have, the human mind in a bald head like Picard. Now,
it's a pretty tense scene because Geordi stops everybody before like they do their initial plan of the adjustments.
Yeah.
And Geordi's basically saying like, now it's up to us, instead of, using the computer. And Picard does the very captain-y thing. And he's like, honestly, now that you told us that the stakes are in our hands,
he's like, I'm gonna fly the fucking
fly the
ship.
Yeah, because it's my duty. And Geordi's like, Captain, I've run the simulations. Like, we can just upload it to the computer.
No,
And
he
he's
says,
like, no, honestly,
he says, I ran it. I'll do it. Yeah,
it.
they can't
Yeah,
upload
but
it
he's
to the
like,
computer. The whole point is it's got to be a human doing it.
That you're right.
He says
But I
the
just thought
computer
that'd be funny.
can't replicate the human element.
But yeah, Picard's like, it's my duty
Yeah.
as a captain. Like, I've already asked you to solve this issue.
And he wants
This is
to.
me just
He wants. To,
helping.
he literally said, I would. It would be great to be like flying in a single prop airplane with one propeller, and that's Riker's like, you get to do that now, motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's
So-
also like taking responsibility in his hands.
One
It's
thing-
his crew, his ship.
One thing that I have to talk about, because I hate when they do this in this show, when they make it look
Yeah.
like you can pilot the ship by looking at stuff outside the
Dude,
screen.
I hate
it's
that
so
shit
big.
so much.
It's so
Yes.
fucking no fucking way, dude.
It's not like you just
possible.
look at the dash.
And it's like Worf is like, oh, there's a big rock over there to the left, so they shoot the
Yeah,
left
right.
thruster and move out of the way, and they lose they lose a little momentum, and they're not going to get out. What does Picard do?
Picard slightly leans to like, I don't know, the left or the right, but he gets close to like an asteroid and uses the asteroid's gravitational pull to kind of slingshot himself around, which is akin to the time travel that we see where the
Dude, all the
original
time
crew
travel.
goes around the moon.
They do that.
Or not the
Every
moon,
crew
the
has
sun.
done that. Every crew has flown around the sun
Whipped
fast.
around
Yeah.
the sun.
So
yeah.
one thing that
But yeah, it's kind of just this funny like, instead of pushing out, you like hold it in and let the trap push out.
there was a hilarious
Stop
animation of the Enterprise flipping around, like zooming around the asteroid. And something else that I didn't like about this sequence is Data's like, you used the asteroid's gravity as to slingshot around or whatever. And it's like, why are you fucking surprised by that, dude? You should know that you should have thought of that before him. You have every pilot's fucking memories in your fucking head, dude.
No, but Adam, remember the point.
Oh,
It's
the
like
human element.
mind.
That's right, the best computer.
Data's like, I would have never thought of that.
So then we get the.
That's amazing.
I want
Brilliant.
to kind of pick things up so that we can wrap up here. So we get
Yeah.
Leah and
Stop.
Geordi saying goodbye, and she's like, "It's not really goodbye because every time you touch the engine, you're touching me." And
Yeah, it's creepy.
and then they kiss goodbye, and we know she's going to come back later for an episode. Geordi exits the holodeck, and boom, executive script consultant Melinda Snodgrass.
Yes.
Credits.
Yeah. So, what did you think of this episode?
I like it a lot. I like the progression of Dr. Leah Brahms becoming more real. You know, she starts out as like just the information from a book basically, that he can interact with, and then she becomes a hologram, and then she becomes a hologram with a personality. And I just thought it was fucking hilarious that they were like, this hologram is only going to be 90% exactly like she would have been in real life. And Geordi's like, hey, I'll fucking deal with it. It's like, what if part of that 10% was she doesn't have a face or something, dog?
Sure, yeah.
I like that
she's like some crazy lady murderer or something.
So many guest actors,
super racist or something.
So many guest actors and actresses. Geordi's date, Julie Warner. She also was in Doc Hollywood.
Hollywood.
It's a Michael J. Fox movie where he's like a big time New York or big time LA doctor who ends up having to be a doctor like out in bumfuck nowhere, and it's like fish out of water. It's basically Northern Exposure.
Okay. What was that other show too, where like those
I don't
two
know, dude.
brothers
There's
were
a lot
LA
of shows.
doctors and
Nip
they
Tuck.
were going from place Nip Tuck? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
No, not Nip Tuck. That was a plastic
that was, and they weren't
surgeons.
brothers.
That was like Body Gore.
Yeah, that was why we.
I forgot the other one.
That was why we have
They would always
Ryan
go to, like,
Murphy
their houses
thrust
and shit.
upon us.
Oh my god! I know.
So you're telling me
seriously.
there's a show about doctor brothers that did house calls?
Basically,
Wow.
yes. It was like two LA brothers and they did house calls.
You're gonna have to fucking figure that
As
out.
doctors.
I gotta know.
I know.
I liked it. What did you think?
It was very enjoyable because I always laugh at our criteria of like, one, it takes place completely on the ship.
Uh-huh.
Two, it's like an engineering sciencey problem that we both love because it's not like a stereotype of like, oh, we got to figure out this culture. Or, first contact.
We gotta fight a
like,
war.
Oh, who
We gotta
gets
do
the
a
medicine
war.
or who gets the weapon?
We gotta decide about a war. What's this war gonna war?
Yeah. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought, I don't know, to me, I guess Geordi episodes aren't like that crazy. I don't know. They're always like geeky engineering stuff and it's like kind of fun.
It did kind of.
But,
It was kind of like, oh, Geordi's
kind
the.
of be a pair.
I
When
like
he's
when
with someone
he's-
else. It definitely works.
Geordi is a good part of a duo. Him and Data are also a good team up. That happens often.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
gotta
like he
say,
can't. I mean, no offense to LeVar Burton, but I don't know. It's like I don't know if he can completely carry one on his own. Who knows though? Maybe there'll be an episode
Yeah.
down the line where like he does really well.
he also I think. Do you think that he's like a surrogate for like the unfuckable dorks in the Star Trek audience?
Oh my god,
Like,
no! I think it's just like, I mean, it's like a line that he says too, where engineers are really smart. Where he goes, "I can figure out, how to transfer this.
I can
antimatter
field
in
strip
this
an
flux
antimatter
capacitor
inverter."
engine." Yeah, but I can't talk to this chick, and it's like, well, I mean, I even talked to people in high school had asked me questions in my soccer team and stuff like that. Like younger, students and kids were like, "Hey, man, Alfredo, like, what is it with women and this and that?" And I'm like, "Dude, they're not Pokemon. Like, you just need to talk to them."
Yeah, dude.
Like, turns out they're just as attracted to you as you are to them. Like, it sucks, but you just got to put yourself out there, and that's basically what Whoopi Goldberg was saying. She was like, "Yo, I'm into whatever."
And-
so like, I'm into bald men. Like,
right?
People like what they like.
Right? And
I thought that was pretty refreshing.
I do-
And then the jokes about the ship in the bottle,
Dude,
too.
I liked all the ship in the bottle talk. I like the Promelian battlecruiser design. You can like the fact that it was directed by a prolific lady director like makes so much sense to me because all the scenes with Leah Brahms are really good. They're not like overly saccharine, and it's not like it's definitely a more heady intellectual story. But the stakes are real. Like everybody on the ship is gonna fucking die in 26 minutes if Geordi can't like do math with a computer.
Well, it's a lot of the other characters are kind of underutilized, but also it's like kind of a Geordi focused episode to where Crusher and Worf are both like, we only have X amount of time. Captain.
Worf is like,
Worf
is like, we've got this much time before Crusher's thing starts, and she's like, when my thing starts and his thing stops, we have this much time.
And also too, the fact that Worf is like, we're losing energy, we're gaining energy. I don't know. It's like, and then it is funny that Wesley isn't too much in the episode after as well. And I am kind of glad that we don't get that whole cheesy resolution of like Geordi finally finding a date and finally going to the holodeck and things finally.
No, in fact,
like,
it's almost
how
worse.
TV shows would have worked back
now
then.
he's like he loves a computer, and now it's like he's never going to be able to relate to a human woman again because they aren't going to be Leah Brahms. You're not the most brilliant physicist I've ever known.
Well, I think that's what makes the TV show so good. It's like that cheesy Rolling Stone song where it's can't always get what you want.
Yeah.
Where it's the feeling of desire of something sometimes is more stronger than like the actual thing. And, you know, people are just trying, everybody relates to that of like a whole, oh man, you know, I wish things would work out. But I think that's what makes it so refreshing is that like we're not getting that stereotypical 90s ending of like, oh great, Geordi now has a date. And it's like, that's right, Wesley. You know, it's like, so it would have been really cheap. That would have been the original series, you know?
Definitely. Well, so how many Promelian battle cruisers do you give this out of 5?
Let's see here. I would say a 4 out of 5. It was solid. It wasn't like a wowee, this is amazing.
Just about to say 4, man. No, it's great. It's funny. Worf says
it's missing one piece.
Worf says, I never played with toys. And Data's like, I was never a boy. Like, that shit fucking hits, dude. It's good.
I was never a boy.
And all the guest actors, all the guest stars are good. Both the guest ladies that they have are good. Fucking dynamite editing, the balance between the stories, the darkness of everything, the power being out. It's fucking great.
Mm-hmm. This was better than the bonding too, I think.
Yeah, I would say it. Ooh,
slightly
yeah,
better.
I think so.
I don't know.
I guess I'd have to look back. Yeah. What did I rate the bonding? Let me check here. I gave the bonding 4, so I thought it was about the same, and I could maybe stand by that. You did think you thought it was 0.25 better than the bonding. You gave the bonding a 3.75, so that tracks. That tracks. Well, hey, so that brings us to that's our discussion of the Booby Trap, not the Booby Trap, Booby Trap, which brings us to our final official segment of the week.
Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam and Al are recommending things.
What do you got for us this week, Al?
Well, I guess it's kind of geeky, but go look up Batocera if you're into emulators and
Batocera.
Shit. I'd also say
get it on your Raspberry Pi.
The Odyssey. I'd say give the Odyssey a chance.
I would love to.
Oh, actually, I did. Guess what I watched yesterday for the first time? Perfect Blue.
Oh, that's fucking great, dude.
That was a wild
Perfect
ride.
Blue is a masterpiece, dude.
Blind. But then, you know, I remember that unforgettable frame of, you know, the blood smear across the main character's face, and I'm like, when are we going to see that? What's the context? And it's like, now that I know the context of the photo, it's a lot more.
Perfect Blue is
I enjoy it a lot more.
Perfect Blue is incredible.
But yeah, I recommend Perfect Blue, the Odyssey, and Batocera.
Yeah, get a Raspberry Pi and watch the Odyssey. Now, I would love to go see the Odyssey, but I didn't want to see it in anything less than 70 millimeter IMAX, and all of the showings are sold out all month. So I'll probably get it on a re-release. I am going to recommend Jujutsu Kaisen, which I'm sure I've recommended way back in the day, but there's a new season out now, and I haven't watched it yet, but I am just recommending the show in general. I'm rewatching the first 2 seasons. I'm really bad at remembering what happens in this show, particularly for some reason, so whenever there's new stuff, I have to rewatch it, but yeah.
Is there recaps?
Yeah, but they're not great. They don't, it's just recaps like so I got to rewatch it. And it's good because it's fucking amazing, beautiful show. It's like not like the S tier animation instead of like the most recent One Punch Man and whatnot.
Well, it's like when you see fights and action scenes, it actually kind of flows, and there's like smear frames that are properly there. And stuff.
You can like really feel the impact of the impact of the sound effects and the punches and the explosions and shit. But yeah, so Jujutsu Kaisen, the Odyssey, get a Raspberry Pi with an emulator on it, fucking.
Or a mini PC.
Or a mini PC.
That's what I'm going for next.
And then you gotta watch Perfect Blue, which is a fucking excellent anime film from the late 90s, early 2000s. And that's the episode. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
Ooh, hey, Jenks, buy me a Coke.
Hey.
All right, so come back next week. Do all the things in the bumper, and goodbye.
Oh, next week we're watching the Enemy.
Yeah, good on you, Al. So yeah, next week we're watching the Enemy. Come on back, gang. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
175.
Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordal-Quinnell and Al Hirt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com or you can search for us on Bluesky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.